And now, the Extreme Fantasy Sports Network presents the Around the XFF podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the Around the XFF podcast. I'm Chargers Chris. I'm here with Tampa Bay Adam. How you doing, Adam?
Good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Week 3 in the books. How you feeling?
I feel all right. Not gonna get cocky or anything. I was sitting 4-0 at this point last year, so I know things can change quick. How are you feeling?
Disappointed. I won. No, I wasn't really wanting to win, but I guess that's what happens. And still got a good team. I mean, I don't know. We'll see going forward. I'm still gonna try to blow it up a little more, but I'm trying to finagle my way into the bottom 4 to still have the highest points. All while submitting my best lineups. So whatever happens, happens. If I don't reach the bottom 4, I don't reach it.
Right. The Bears had to stumble this week and give you a win.
Yeah, had he started his guy, would have been a lot closer. I might have still won. But yeah, so we're going to first. You sipping on anything tonight?
I'm just drinking water.
Well, I'm gonna crack me a local IPA here from Wedgwood. If you're ever anybody listening, if you're ever in northern Indiana, I don't know if you know this, but St. Nick from New Orleans Nick and Bears Jared live here in my area.
Okay.
So this local brewery and the best beer. I travel the country. I go to all sorts of breweries, and they just brew the best stuff I've ever had. So shout out to my boys at Wedgwood. And so yeah, let's get this party going.
Awesome. So I see you made a bunch of trades over there.
I did. Yeah, I need to hold on. I got a special song queued up here for Philly John because I think he needs somebody. Here you go. Philly John needs Koo. Where you at, Koo? Boy, everybody's battering him, man. He's black and blue and bruised. And yeah, I was listening to the commissioner show it was the Philly John show when Al called in. Talk about blowing up his team after week 1. And so, yeah, that started going in my head. I think I could have competed, add some more pieces and still, been competitive, but I don't think I was going to win. I didn't have enough draft capital to add what I needed, in my opinion. I mean, anything can happen week to week, but I would rather sell some of my pieces, 31-year-old Keenan Allen, who went ballistic this week for like nearly 50 points. And so I put it out there in the chat. Hey, I might be selling. Rams sent me that offer over. There was no negotiating. I accepted it. First and second for Keenan Allen. 31 and a half years old. And yeah, when you get to that age playing wide receiver, you start counting half years.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to preschool days. So 31 and a half next year, 32 and a half at the start of the season, likely not going to produce. He is on like a 2 or 3 year contract. But I don't know. I would rather take my chances in the draft. Sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. and just get a little younger there. So that was the first domino. Second domino came in with Philly John offering me the farm for Kyron. I'm kind of sad he didn't perform for him this week. Just, I feel bad for what he did offer me, but I hit accept almost immediately. So what do you think? There's some other trades too we can talk about. It's not going to be all about me and us, but what do you think?
I mean, I think you made out like a bandit on those. Not to shit talk the other side of those, but getting out on Keenan Allen right now, getting the first and second for him, plus, the other kind of filler players that you got, I think that was a great way to start that. And then John coming in hot like that, yeah, I bet you couldn't hit accept fast enough.
Yeah, so we officially starting the rebuild. Got to get younger. Got to get, especially the linebacker position. Also, my defensive tackles are old.
So all right, this Kyron Williams thing.
Yeah.
This opens the whole. I know a lot of people have been talking about this offseason and different takes on it, but players like Kyron Williams, he was a 5th round pick. Even if, and it's kind of a big if, but even if he performs for the rest of the year as he has in the first 3 weeks, right? He could so easily be replaced.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next year.
But here's the flip side, right? Had he saved his first round pick and drafted a running back, how many first round running backs fall on their face?
Yep.
Like, Darius Geis was one of the best prospects ever. Never played a freaking down.
Yep.
And I've fallen on that rabbit chute too. Like, I draft running back after running back. I drafted Cam Akers. I was super high on Cam Akers. Tore his Achilles, never the same.
Yep.
And he had some of the best college tape I've seen. So you just don't know. I mean, like he said, what's it to you? Like, I don't give a shit about draft picks because I can't draft. He may not like the draft, like doesn't scout, doesn't want to put the time in for that. I enjoy. To me, that's what fantasy is all about: is the off season. I love the combine. I love watching college football. So I just like taking my chances on these guys who I think will produce and people I follow think will produce.
Yeah. So now, as the NFL continues to devalue running backs, it's kind of having an inverse effect in fantasy in this weird way where we're not valuing them less yet. We're almost valuing them more as we draft them all higher and higher, hoping to hit on one of the few rare, McCaffrey Chubb types who actually will carry a team.
Correct.
I just wonder, will we ever start devaluing the position also?
Well, I for sure am. This is going through my head all off season, really, since I saw what Giants gave up to move up to that number 1 spot to draft his boy Bijan. So, who, will he ever produce what he gave up? No, there's no way. He can be the number 1 RB for 3 years in a row, and it's still what he gave up was too much. So this year, I mean, obviously, I forget who had the pick, but whoever traded down from number 1 already did devalue the running back spot, right?
Yep.
So some of us are, some of us aren't. I for sure am. I've already been burned. Dude, I forget the offer. I can't even get into it. But when I had the number 1, 1.01, and drafted Fournette, Diggs hadn't hit yet. And it was D. Jordan on the Giants offered me Diggs and 2 late first rounders in that draft to move up to the 1.01. Well, guess who I could have got? I could have got Diggs. I could have got Kamara, and I could have got McCaffrey, I think. Or no, McCaffrey went early. Another running back who, really hit that year. But I was sit on Fournette, so I learned my lesson. Now everybody else has to learn their lesson.
Yeah. Nah, that's even more reason I think to applaud you for selling Kyron Williams now.
Oh, also I don't want to burn. Like I hope he produces. I watched Kyron at Notre Dame, dude. I like Kyron. He's not the fastest guy, but he clearly has vision.
Yeah.
Who is his name slipping me? The Texans running back for many years.
Arian Foster?
Foster, late round pick, very late. Might have been undrafted. Slow, great vision, great hands. It's not just because you're slow, just because you're a late round pick doesn't mean you're going to be replaced. So it's all on what the team, if they don't have to give up a first to go get draft their guy or trade.
But it's so many variables that there's almost nothing that we can latch onto to tell us.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost, for us on our end, it's almost random. And so you take as many stabs at the position as you can through the draft. Yeah, you can think somebody's the best running back ever, and they can totally flop.
Yeah. I mean,
or like you said, they can go undrafted and they can carry a team for years.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, it's not trying to burn John. I can see from John's perspective why he's willing to do it. He doesn't feel like he drafts well. He's pushing to compete this year, and he's pushing to compete for real. So yeah, I mean, he's taking the LA Rams fuck those picks approach. And when you feel like you're in a position to do that, it's understandable.
Funny story, I think Eckler went undrafted in our league here. And Philly John actually had Eckler, and somehow I traded for him, or maybe I traded him to Philly. I can't remember, but we were involved in a trade with him. And the only reason I traded him away is I was thinking the same thing. Late round pick, he's gonna get supplanted. So I'm gonna take first round pick, whatever I got for him. Well, here he is, freaking 6-7 years later.
Yeah.
Still producing.
Yeah. And for sure, there's going to be some exceptions, but I think from a dynasty manager perspective, that the process of selling somebody like that will be right more times than not.
Yeah. So that started the fire sale. I'm gonna try to keep it going.
Hey, kudos too for I like that EJ Speed flip. You managed to get a second.
Yeah, that was for John too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip Speed in a fourth for a second. There's some other big trades this week. Carolina Panthers just had one.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers, let's see. Giants sent Henry, Jamison Crowder, CeeDee Lamb, Taysom Hill in a fourth to Carolina for Tyreek, Bradley Chubb, and stud safety Amani Hooker. So I think that was a fair trade. I mean, Tyreek's not young. Derrick Henry's not young. Really, I think the Dustin was trying to get CeeDee Lamb and get a little younger at the wide receiver position is my gathering from that trade.
Yeah, that was a very fair one. Let's see. I noticed the Lions snagged Henry 2020 from the Rams, and I think that was a great snag.
Yeah.
2020, he put up 5.5 points week 1, 12.5 week 2, and then 20 this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah.
I don't know much about him. I haven't looked into him, but
He was a 5th-round pick, but that linebacking core was such a mess. And what was it? Christian Harris came into the year. That was a pick last year that looked like he was going to be the starter there, next to, is it Tranquil is there or Perryman? Anyway, some aging vet, and yeah, it looks like 2020 is supplanting Harris.
gotcha.
So yeah, the Lions and the Vikings have been very active with taxi squad snipes,
Yeah.
which is fun to see. Like every week, I'm checking the AFC taxi squad claim, and there hadn't been one since week 1, I don't think, or maybe even before the season started. So, but yeah, you guys are pretty active over there in the NFC.
Yep. So all while we're all on this trade talk here, I put out a poll question. And it wasn't necessarily referring to just this league, because John was like, "Well, how do you putting somebody in the AFC?" Well, I play in another league with him, and in
Mm-hmm.
that league, I think he's hard to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm hard to deal with, and we're both hard to deal with, so we can't find a common ground, I guess. But so I put that out, and it was interesting to see who voted for who, but it's pretty unanimous that Pittsburgh Steelers, Dave, right? Dave is a hard guy to deal with.
You know, when you posted this and I went to vote, there were actually multiple people that I wanted to vote for. I was a little disappointed I could only vote for one. And I went with Jay. I'm in a couple leagues with Jay. And the only reason I went with Jay is because he practically doesn't trade at all. Dave I almost voted for. I almost voted for Sean. But, you know, I've done deals with Sean. I think I've managed to do a deal with Dave. You know, the thing with Dave is he'll come to you and offer you a trade, and he'll even offer you a player, but he wants so much from you that
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to get anything done.
And so to Cam's point, I can be that way about certain guys, like certain guys in certain positions. Um, but I'm not like that with every guy. There's just some guys that I really like, and I'm willing to hang on to them
Sure.
if I don't get what I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think some guys hold a premium for some owners, and I don't know. I've been in leagues with Dave, but I don't think I've ever tried to trade with him. But as you mentioned, voted for Jay, but we had a couple other guys like Seahawks got voted for because he literally never responds. Arizona's the same way. I don't like
I'm guessing,
never,
yeah, I'm
never
guessing,
responds. So he's got a couple votes.
yeah.
LA Rams only have one. That he sends out. Kevin sends out the most trade offers by anyone in any league I've ever played. Always
Mm-hmm.
earn his roster, and
I'm
most of them
in
are
another with him. And he's
absurd.
in the other conference, but I more often than not, if somebody is posting offers that they got, they were from Kevin in that league.
Most of the offers I get are just absurd. Like,
Yep.
why would I do that, Kev? But then he sends me first and second for Keenan. I'm like, cool, done, boom, no negotiation. That's what I want. So I think like him, I guess he just values certain players. Maybe it's just, hey, I really need a wide receiver. I gotta win. Let's offer a little more. So, but I felt like that was a fair trade all around anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw he got a vote like that, and let's see who else got some.
Are you surprised that no one voted for Sean?
So I have done some deals with Sean and GM League, And I don't think he's all that hard to deal with, in my experience with it.
I know there are certain times of the year where I won't trade with Sean.
Yeah.
Especially like the second half of the season where he's trying to load up for another run. Last year, he was trying to get Zaire Franklin from me and somebody else, and I just would not budge. He started talking about, I thought we were friends. We're not friends anymore. He even brought it up in Slack in another league. Oh, we're not friends
Sean,
anymore.
what have you done for me?
I'm not helping you win another championship, Sean.
Yeah, you're winning. I'm not, Sean. What the hell?
No, not doing it.
Oh, that was good. That was interesting. So Pittsburgh, Dave, you better start sending some better offers, bud. Anything else on that you want to touch on before we move on?
No.
Perfect. So let's get into the high score, the 400 club, as we like to call it here in the XFF. It's hard to reach. 2 teams did it this week. What do you think about those scores?
And I mean, we got to give props where props are due. Kansas City, I mean, that was absurd. So we both did a little bit of digging. I saw, I was putting it together yesterday, and then I saw you message me today, and you said that you had managed to put it together. So I hopped on and looked at 2014, but so having looked at it all, that is the record, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's keep them hanging.
Did you find one digging through?
Let's keep them hanging here. Let's start out. Let's go back in time. 2014, inaugural year, 9 years ago. We got Denver, week 8, very first 400 game, posted 411. New owner since then. Panthers, week 13, 421. Impressive. New owner since then. 2015, Cowboys Will, week 6, posted 419. 2016, we had Bengals Cam, posted 400 even. Cowboys Will, week 3, also 423. So kind of like this week, they were higher this week. The same week, 400 burgers. 2017, we had no 400-point games. 2018, no 400-point games. 2019, Bills in week 3 posted the highest yet. No, sorry, second highest, 422. My Bears, week 8, posted a 419. And Pittsburgh Dave, that was his undefeated year, posted week 10 a 404. 2020, go back to Bengals Cam. Week 6, 411. Bears, week 12, 403. 2021, Rams, week 1, posted a 400 burger. Chiefs, week 13, a 402. And Ravens, Sean, week 16, a 404 in the playoffs. 2022 is Saints and Nick, week 2, posted a 419. Ravens, Sean again, week 5, posted a 411. And Bengals Cam, week 8, a 419.
Wow.
So it's not only the highest score, but obliterated the highest score this week. KC, Chiefs, what's his name?
BJ.
Yeah. Congratulations, dude. That was an awesome performance. Rams, dude, again. You notice Rams, Bengals, Ravens, Bears, Cowboys were on this list multiple times.
Yeah.
Building a not just a one-hit wonder team like people just try to churn their roster, which Rams churns their roster, but somehow he still manages to get, they might be old, but they're still producing, and he'll flip them. Just Yeah, it's pretty incredible how owners choose to go about dynasty leagues.
Yeah. Kevin managed to put up 132 more points in week 3 than he did in week 2.
Yeah, that Keenan Allen trade, man. I
Yep.
said I kind of regretted it a little bit. But yeah, so again, hats off, Chiefs, Rams. I think that what was it, 451. I think that's going to stand for quite some time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Making history.
What else you got on the docket, Chris?
How about Devin A-Chain, man?
Good God.
Yeah, that was wild.
Well, not just him, anybody who was running the ball. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a frozen clip of him making a run. There was 7 or 8 guys on the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos on the ground at the same time. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Sean Payton, man, eating his words for talking so much shit about the coaching in Denver.
Yep. I think Peyton's a good coach. He'll get it turned around, but it's not going to be this year.
Yeah. A lot of rookies, man. A lot of rookies putting up really good scores this week. CJ Stroud looking legit.
Yeah, I mean, not just rookies, but I was watching that Baltimore Colts game. The second-year safety from Notre Dame there. Name escaping me right now, but he was going ham. Had like 45 fantasy points in the first half.
Kyle Hamilton.
Hamilton, dude. Went
Yeah.
this. He's on the Redskin or Commanders bench in our league.
Yeah, he scored 5.5 and 7.5 points week 1 and 2. A lot of people frustrated with him, man. I'm sure more places than not he was probably benched. So if you look on the AFC side anyway, the top 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the top 19 were Kansas City starters.
That's insane.
Myles Garrett put up 47.5 for him. Kyle Hamilton put up 45 for him. Keenan Allen put up 45 for him. He had Jordan Love put up 34.8, and he had Rashawn Gary put up 34.
that's impressive.
Yep.
What about I mean, I can't believe not only A-Chain, but Mostert had no slouch day, dude. 44 points.
Mm-hmm.
It was unreal. And I'm a little disappointed. Are you disappointed that they didn't go for the record, that they didn't try to break the scoring record?
A little bit. Yeah.
You know what? You've already scored 70. Rub some dirt in their fucking wound and go for it, man. Your guys, I know that. I don't care what he said. I know your guys wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're just trying to run the ball out. We weren't even trying to score. Well, I get that, but if they're not going to stop you,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool to see. I missed. Yeah, I had something I had to do at 3:00. So from like 3 to 5, I was tied up, and then I kind of wandered back in the house about 5:10, 5:15, and started checking how the games ended, and I saw that 70-20, and I just couldn't believe it, man.
And then the Chiefs pull their starters after I think it was the first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah.
A lot of people mad about Kelsey's stats there because he was only like a yard and 2 yards short of his over under, and pull him in the third quarter. So getting on to that subject, you saw, he sent out a invite to old Taylor Swift, and she just happens to show up, sitting with his mama. That got me thinking, right? Like, the NFL just reached a whole new crowd. These teenage girls going out buying all these Kelsey jerseys now, sales way up. So the NFL is loving this. Like, they haven't been able to reach that market. They've been trying to get, reach it like through Nickelodeon, and teenage girls ain't watching Nickelodeon, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage boys are already interested. They're not watching Nickelodeon. So, dude, I think they just got it handed to them in their laps.
Yeah, for sure. Where is it? Was it did Sean post it up?
Yeah, Sean posted that picture.
Yeah. 63% jump in female viewership, 18 to 49. Kelsey getting a huge boost in his podcast and his Instagram, and yeah.
So got my mind going. So if you were some famous player, I guess, football player, you could invite anybody, have them show up. Who would it be? Not necessarily the date, I guess. That's his intentions, but.
I don't know, man. You got somebody in mind?
For me, dude, it's always been Carrie Underwood. Since I saw her in American Idol, my fucking crush level is 100,000% on that chick. Best legs in the industry.
I'm gonna date myself a little here, but I think the first person that popped in my mind was Selma Hayek.
Hey, no wrong answers.
Right? Start trying to think of somebody much younger than that, and I have a hard time thinking.
That's all right. No, that's good for him, dude. So,
yeah,
if he breaks up with her, I was thinking about this. If he breaks up with her, oh man,
what's the song title gonna be?
Yeah, dude, hold on. I figured it out, right? I used to have a tight end. Oh shit.
God, that makes me think of that old joke. We were catering one time, and at some, super rich people's house, and they had a gay butler. And, he was a fairly big guy, tall and stocky. He says, I played football in high school. And I said, oh, did you? He said, yeah, I started off a tight end, but I wound up a wide receiver.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
So how we do on our picks last week? You want to go through standings a little bit first?
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, let's touch on all these first doubleheader. Let me get here. Standings. You want to do AFC first?
Sure.
So that AFC North, dude. Let's start in the AFC North. Cam 3-1. Dave 3-1. Sean 3-1. Lynn 1-3. But he's not far behind on average points, really. I mean, he's a respectable average points for Lynn, 291.
Yeah.
The other behemoths in that conference who don't stop trading and getting better, drafting well.
Yep. Sean on a 3-game winning streak.
So there's almost no chance Lynn makes the playoffs now, right? In that division, even averaging that, I mean.
Yeah. And I think since he's already in a rebuild, unless he's got some 1-year contract guys he's willing to part with, going straight to sell off, probably isn't first in his in the front of his mind.
Yeah. I don't know, but that to me that'd be the first thing I would do. Amari Cooper, I'd sell him.
Yeah. He'd be a for sure sell target. Even something like the Miami offense, you know what I mean? It's a 1 year, but you might find somebody willing. Miami offense has more points than any other player on his team.
Yeah. It's unreal. I mean, shoot, someone might give up a first for that. Like, that's a lot of points. Averaging 25 points a game. I mean, God, that's better than most linebackers, safeties. Pretty good. But yeah, I'd consider. So if you're in the buyer's market and the AFC, I'd consider reaching out to Len and going to the AFC East. Did you have anything on the AFC North?
No. I mean, we know the lay of the land there. It's the same that it's been.
AFC East, Jets are leading that division, 3-1, averaging a respectable 321. And your 2022 league winner, New England Patriots, 2-2, only averaging 253.
Yeah, he had a get right week this week. Seems like his head was finally in it.
Miami J 1-3, and Buffalo Bills 264.
Man, I got to tell you, I was sweating bullets. I promised John the week before that I would make a couple shit talk videos, and one of them was against Miami. And when I left for that meeting at 3:00, I mean, just looking at the scores, I was way behind. And, it'll give you that percentage chance to win. And for most of the early games, it's not even worth looking at, but I kept looking at it. And it was saying 15%, 20% for me to win. And I'm like, man, I made these stupid videos. And now I'm going to get my ass kicked in both of my matchups.
No, you got a good team, dude. So you beat Miami and you beat Oakland, right? Or Las Vegas?
Yep.
Yeah. So you went 2-0 on the week. And I was looking over your team. You got young stud wide receivers, just a good young team.
Yeah, the start sits for me is honestly pretty tricky.
When you're that deep, they are. It's like I said, it's almost better to sell some of those guys package 2 of those guys for somebody, more like a Jalen Waddle or I don't know, somebody a little bit better, maybe like tier 2 wide receivers for a tier 1 wide receiver.
Yep. And I mean,
get those decisions out of your head.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to play matchups, because I did that a little bit this week. And all of a sudden, Madison, I set him. He had 6 the week before. He put up 19. I set Joe Mixon. He had a decent score. Javonte Williams, he didn't do anything. He's a 2024 play, really. But yeah, just trying to play the matchups a little bit. And I mean, in that sense too, I feel kind of lucky to have pulled out a win, because CeeDee Lamb underperformed. Drake London, he put up 5. I started Nico Collins, who had 28 the week before. He put up 5. So yeah, I was sweating it for sure.
What do you think about Drake London?
I think he's good, man. It's just that offense.
And he's stuck in it for many years. Are you willing to? It's not going to change. Are you willing to stick it out for many more years to see what he can do on a new team? If he gets to a new team, they might resign.
Right, or even a change at quarterback. Okay, well then you're looking at AJ Brown in Tennessee territory.
Yeah.
is like his upside, and that would be next year. So yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Dude, if you
I did try to offer
a top 5 tight end, I'd put you right up there with Sean, Cam, Dave. I think that's the only thing you're missing really that I see is top tier tight end.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson so far this year has not been what people thought he might be. We'll put it that way. So yeah, I mean, it we don't have 3 guys that are 3-1 in this division for sure in the West, but it's definitely a tough division between us.
Yeah, so KC now after his big score this week went up to 2-2, and it brought his average way up. But that's not a true characterization, I would say, of his team. I think he's still a young, rebuilding team. So I'm not sure I see KC in the playoffs, but I don't know. A lot of ball left to play. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you put your money on KC making the playoffs?
Yeah, he definitely could. That'd be a line that I wouldn't want to put money on.
I mean, he's got the draft capital, right? Didn't you say he had like 5 first-round picks that he could trade off to?
Yeah, he's got 4. Yep.
4 first-round picks to try to get there. So I mean, it's not out of the question, but it's more on what's he wanting to do, like stick with the rebuild or.
Yeah, I'd be curious to peek into inboxes around the AFC and see what kind of trade offers he may have been slinging around after that 451 boosted his confidence.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that over the next week or two.
For sure.
So Raiders coup 2-2, and Broncos 2-2. So it's a tight division.
Yeah.
Going down to the AFC South. There's not much to talk about there. It's one of the worst, probably the worst division in the league. 3-1 Colts leading it with an average of 269. We already know Jacksonville's rebuilding. Tennessee had a fire sale. I haven't even looked at Houston's team. Is he doing a rebuild or?
I haven't seen him being super active, but he's got a mix of young guys and old guys. He's got Sam Howell and Zach Wilson. Then he's got Brian Robinson at running back. He's got Bateman, Diami Brown, Greg Dortch, Chris Godwin, Mac Hollins, John Mechie, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of all over. Grady Jarrett.
Well.
Then he's got a couple rookies.
I think he needs to go back and take his advice that I took from that show and sell off and rebuild it again, man.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the NFC. Start at the North. NFC North, you got Bears leading it 2-2, averaging 300. Lions are also 2-2, and banged up Packers are 1-3, and they're kind of. I know they're pushing their chips. Not, I wouldn't say all in, but he's definitely putting some feelers out to try to acquire some guys after losing Rodgers and a couple other guys. So.
It's tight enough there, man. If he made some changes, he could come out on top.
Fortunately, Minnesota Jim still at the bottom. And in the NFC East, the Philly Eagles leading at 3-1, after 305. Giants and Dallas both at 2-2. And Commish, Washington Commanders are 1-3. Dude, he's reeling. Have you peeked his team? He has a really good team.
He does. It's just
is he going to be able to survive? Like another doubleheader coming up. I don't think he's going to be able to survive it. I mean, if he drops these two, I would call it done.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a real tough hole to crawl out of, even if Cooper Kupp comes back and goes off, which who knows if he will or won't. Especially with the way hamstrings linger and how well Puka Nakua's been doing.
He had Kyle Hamilton on his bench. I assume he's going to be starting now.
Yeah.
Luvu got hurt for him last week.
Zach Cunningham's questionable now for whatever that's worth.
Eckler's been out, so.
Joey Bosa didn't practice today.
And Burrow's been struggling with his injury, so
yeah.
What?
Tough, man. Up and down.
Tough break. He doesn't like to talk about it, but good God, he doesn't have much for draft capital either. So it's kind of an all-in season for him. He's just limbo, wait and see. NFC West, Seattle Ron, Seahawks 4-0, averaging 312. Is that a surprise to you?
Not after the weeks he's been having, man. And good. He's the only 4-0 team in the league, so props to Ron on that too.
Yeah, he's got Mostert. Russell Wilson's been putting up some numbers. Ayuk, Devontae Smith. Yeah, he's got a decent team, but Ron will likely never make the trades to put him over the top. So while he may win the division, get in the playoffs, I don't think he's going to have enough to ever, the way he goes about it now anyways, win this whole damn league. LA Ram Kevin, 2-2, making a statement this week, brought in some new talent. And he's one of those guys too, waiting on Aaron Jones. He did that high score without Aaron Jones, so that's even more impressive. But he's got the geriatric team: Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Robert Woods.
Yeah, Thielen, man, that was that was fun to watch. Thielen having a good day.
So I think Kevin will keep going, keep churning the roster to try to get there. So we'll see. I'd say he's a top 4 team in the NFC, talent-wise.
Yep.
49ers are 1-3, and the Cardinals are 1-3. Moving to the last division, NFC South. Atlanta, Sweet Percy. This week, I'm going to go back over every year and see if this dude has ever made a trade. Because I can't remember him ever making a trade. He just drafts his talent. And hands down, I'm going to put this poll up for the next week. Who you think is the best drafter in this league? Because my vote is going right to Atlanta. He drafted all these guys. Rarely misses. I mean, it's a pretty incredible roster. As Nick put on there, dude, we're all chasing Percy and his potential points every single week. That's if he doesn't win it, that's what's going to hamstring him, is trying to pick his starters week in the playoffs when it's do or die, and you got so much talent to choose from, dude. Like, it's unreal.
He has not made a trade this year.
No, I know. Honestly,
he had a D tackle sniped off of him.
Honestly, I can't ever remember him making a trade. And
he made 6 last year.
Did he? Okay. Well, I wasn't here.
Okay, he had two players sniped off his taxi last year, and then it looks like he made 4 last year.
4 trades. Okay.
Big
Oh.
one being in November, he gave up Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders, DJ Shark, Jordan Fuller, a first and a sixth for Josh Jacobs, Carl Granderson, and Von Miller. That's the one big trade he pulled last year in November 22nd.
Dude, I'm
Must have been right at the deadline.
pretty sad I wasn't here to witness that. Cause, yeah. Anyways, props to him. Nothing says you have to trade.
Yeah, no, it's almost more impressive, like you said.
New Orleans Saints 3-1, averaging 318. Tampa 2-2. Unfortunately, averaging 295. Damn it. And Carolina, he's trying to compete, making trades, putting out offers. Had some bad luck with some injuries this week. Falls at 2-2. Every I'm not quite 300, but all the other three teams are averaging over 300. So that's a rundown. Anything to add?
No. Who do you think? We kind of mentioned it as we went through, but Kamish obviously on sell-off watch. Vikings on sell-off watch.
Vikings should be selling right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Not to circle back, but the only reason I chose week 1, even though I could have competed, I wanted to be the first, right?
Yeah.
And so the longer you keep going, the more and more teams are going to know they're out. They're not going to be buyers. That limits your market.
Yep.
And
the more the bad teams are going to have the good teams' future draft picks.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you know, you know. You're either all the way in or you get all the way out now. Right.
Being in the middle doesn't do you any good.
Arizona Cardinals got to get all the way out. San Francisco got to get all the way out. I mean, Green Bay is already showing and talks and everything. He wants to get all the way in. So.
Yeah, I think Lynn. I mean, it really depends on how he feels about his rebuild. Bills should probably be all the way out. Al should be thinking about it. The Jags, I don't know, man. I think some of it's tough breaks for the Jags in the first few weeks. So I don't know. I could see the sense of waiting another doubleheader week for them.
Well,
and they've got some young guys that I'm sure they wouldn't want to get rid of.
Even if, well, yeah, I mean, there's guys you're not going to get rid of, right? But
yeah,
even if he traded all his draft capital to try to compete, I don't think he'll ever have a chance against you or Dave or Sean or Cam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Jags sell, Titans sell, Texans got to be sell. AFC West, like I said, you're 3-1, but everybody else is 2-2. So everybody there is, wait and hold pattern.
You should be running out buying.
That's the standings, and we'll give it another week, 2 more games. Oh, I forgot to mention this. When we turned back the clock earlier and was going through all the years, so I was going through every site year or whatever. You remember when the chat used to be just on the damn site, right? So you can only read 20 messages, and Koo will get on there. Myself will get on there. A bunch of guys blow it up. And if you're not on there, you don't get to see all the action. Dude, I love that the Slack. You can go back and look. It makes it so much better for the league.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the sites had, forget what year it was, one of those GIFs of the tumbleweed blowing. But also, when I was looking back, you remember when double headers used to be week 1?
Yeah.
Dude, we've come a long way since then. I'm so glad they're not week 1.
Me too.
Week 3, week 4, spread them out through, towards the end of the year. You literally spend all off season just to go 0-2 and find out your team doesn't have a chance. Like,
Here's just kind of a random question. How do you feel about double headers in principle?
I actually like them.
You do like them?
I do like them. In our GM league that a bunch of the other guys are in, we do an all play, right? So they take your average, and then you'll get an extra win that way, a win or a loss. So, no, I like make your team earn it. I mean, I think it's interesting. Are you opposite?
I kind of have mixed feelings about it, man, because, I know we're trying to go for the realism aspect. So we want to hit the number of games, right? But also on a realism aspect, if a guy is hurt for an NFL team and misses a game, you don't make him miss 2 games just because. So I feel like it's kind of arbitrary and can hurt people kind of extra. Like Alvin Kamara being suspended. He's suspended 3 games. But here he's suspended 5.
Correct, yeah.
So, or if a guy, tweaks a hammy and has to miss a week, he could miss 2 for you. And it's kind of just because, I feel.
But it's the same. Okay, so you go back to the Kamari, miss 3 weeks, but here it's 5. But in those other leagues, you're probably only playing, 13 games, right? So here we're playing the full, 17? So it's really about the same percentage.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I started thinking that it might be roughly the same percentage. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Like, losing 2 games in the same week just puts a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So from a realism perspective, it's kind of hard to pick which one is more realistic. Forcing a 17 in a league that you are forcing it, just to have that number. Or versus, is it more realistic to not having guys miss 2 games in a week just because? So, but no, like, I wouldn't ask for it to be changed or anything. I kind of like asking people that question, see what they think about it.
I get it. So let's recap our picks last week, shall we?
Yeah.
You want to read off the games, and I'll let you do all this.
Okay. I think the first one we talked about was Green Bay Falcons. We both picked Falcons in that. The next one we talked about was Lions and Carolina. We both had Carolina. Carolina won that one. Dallas and the Eagles. We both went with the Eagles. They won. Seattle and the Eagles. You went Seattle. I went Eagles. Seattle pulled that out. Pats and Dolphins. You picked Pats. I picked the Dolphins. The Dolphins lost. Jags and Browns. I went with the Jags. You went with the Browns. The Browns won. And Colts and Texans. We both went Texans. Texans lost.
So I went 8-1, and I think you went 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I wish I could do that on Sundays and my bets.
I think, gosh, we talked about a little less in the first week. I think we're both at 8 right now. But I did that real quick and kind of sloppy right before I hopped on. So I'm going to need to start keeping better track of that. It'd be interesting to have it at the end of the year, though, just to look at.
So you got any highlighted games for this week?
Well, we could talk about the primetime games first.
Okay.
Hey.
So where do you see these primetime games?
Kevin announced it in the XFF news or announcements last week.
Okay, I missed that.
I think it was news. And yeah, he threw week 3 and 4 up at the same time.
Gotcha.
Or sorry, the commish did. Wayne did. So yeah, week 4's primetime games. Thursday night football, Bills at Chargers. Sunday night football, Commanders at 49ers. And there's a doubleheader Monday with the Saints at Bears and Patriots at Kansas City.
Okay.
We still haven't gotten any of those name changes, huh?
No, he said they weren't submitted, so I don't know.
Didn't he say that about week 2 and then about week 3? Nobody said anything at all, right?
Nobody said anything so far this week.
Okay.
I don't know. Half the league sleeping, I think, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, even if nobody sent in suggestions, I would like to see the commissions just do it.
Yeah, let's unanimous.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's just put it up on the Slack and change their damn selves.
Yeah. All right, so the week 4 primetime games. Bills and Chargers.
I guess I'm gonna go first. And I'm gonna pick you in the Chargers.
I am going to do the same.
I hear that.
All right, San Fran and the Commanders.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go Commanders on this one.
Oh. I wanted to, but I'm gonna take San Francisco.
Okay. Saints and Bears.
I'm going Saints. NFC South.
Double Saints. This one is probably the spiciest. Patriots at Kansas City.
I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go KC on this one.
I'm
And hope I'm wrong.
I'm gonna take the Pats.
Okay.
So I had a couple I had wrote down because I didn't know the prime time was out. So Bears versus Panthers. I'm gonna go Panthers.
Yeah, I'll go Panthers on that one.
I mean, you got 2 primetime games, I guess, because I also had your Chargers Jets wrote down. I think that's an interesting matchup there.
Yeah. I was looking at the week 4 matchups too and saw that one, was like, ugh.
Obviously, you're taking yourself, but I'm also taking you to go 2-0 again this week.
Okay.
Eagles and Rams, both making trades, both shooting from the hip, going for it this year. I'm going to take the Rams.
Let me look at the Rams real quick.
Headed up by that monster performance by Keenan Allen. And now their wide receiver 2, Williams, he's out. Dude, 18 catches, 20 targets Keenan Allen had. Now Eckler comes back. I mean, that's going to drop some, but
yeah.
Where do those Williams targets go now?
I don't think Quentin Johnson. I think Josh Palmer would be next, and if Eckler's back, then Eckler.
What about tight ends getting more? I think there's going to be. I think they're going to run 2 tight ends more, Parham and whatever the hell.
Yeah, maybe a good week to start Parham. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've had this basic cast for a few years now. So, but they have a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say look back at how it's been done in the past, but I don't know how the coordinator change would affect that. But I don't think it's going to be Quentin Johnson. I'll say that. I'm looking at Philly right now, and I'm going to go Rams on this one too.
Okay. And the last one I had wrote down, Patriots and Raiders.
Ooh.
Raiders averaging 301. Patriots had, that couple snafus. His average is a little down. Not indicative of his roster. So.
Who's Miami play this week? Bills. Oof. Yeah, I think I go Pats on this one.
Ditto. So that's all I had for the week, unless you have something else to add to it. We got 8.
No, man. I think you picked a lot of the highlights. Any of the AFC North play each other this week?
And
I don't think so.
Say who? NFC North?
Any AFC North? I think this is all cross division this week.
They got some cakewalk. AFC North has some cakewalks this week.
Yeah. No, I think any other picks this week would have to be like, teams that are desperate for a win, but I think we talked about them with the standings enough.
Right on. Well, week 3 is in the books. On to week 4, doubleheader. We'll see what it brings us.
Hell yeah, man.
Good chat.
Good luck this week.
Yeah, good luck to you. Well, shoot, I want to lose. Good luck on losing. Let's go.
May you come in fourth.
All right. Peace out, XFF.
All right, we are out. Later.